Hi, everybody. Mrs. McKenna here, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about Shakespeare's prologue to Romeo and Juliet. He's got a prologue at the beginning of Act 1 and the beginning of Act 2, and that's it. And the prologue is going to give us a little bit of information about the play and about what's to come in the play. It's almost like a trailer for a movie where it's going to tell us a lot of what's going to happen, but not everything. So there is some mystery left involved. Now, when Shakespeare's contemporaries would come to watch this play, they knew the story. They knew basically what was going to happen. And the blog kind of reminds them of that, okay? Let me give you a quick reminder of myshakespeare.com and some of the features available, okay? Glossed words at the top. If that is not over on the left here, please move it over to the left, okay? Because on the right, there's no little definitions. On the left, there are definitions. And take just a minute and read through, all right? We've got dignity is social rank, into for two, mutiny conflict, civil community, but take a few minutes, read definitions because the words have a slightly different meaning than what we would use today. Now, remember, up at the top for scene summary, this gives us a little description of what's going to happen in this scene. Okay, the characters, the chorus, the scene summary, a brief prologue in the form of a sonnet. It is a sonnet, tells us that we're about to spend 2 hours watching a star-crossed love story that ends in death, but also reconciliation between the two conflicting houses to which the lovers belong. On the left-hand side, speaker is the audio of this. And then the little thought bubble here, that gives us kind of a translation in modern English, which you could look at later on if you'd like. On the right-hand side, we've got the lines. There's 14 lines for the sonnet. And then we have one video for this, which I would like you to watch rather, I'm sorry, after you finish reading this, because it'll give you some more information. So let's take a minute, let's listen through, and then we'll talk about it a little bit, okay?
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, still shall strive to mend.
All right, so we've got two households, both alike in dignity. So we have two families who have similar social rank, and that's the Montagues and the Capulets, Romeo Montague and Juliet Capulet. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene, it's taking place in Verona, Italy. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny. So we've got an ancient grudge that's been going on for a while. The Montagues and Capulets have been fighting each other for generations, for many years. We don't even know how this fight started, but they hate each other. And we've got new mutiny. There's new conflict, okay? And that mainly is because of Romeo and Juliet. Where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. It's almost like a civil war in Verona because you have people in the same community fighting each other. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, so both these families had babies, okay? A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. So the star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet, take their life, okay? That means they took their own lives, they committed suicide. Now, I know life and strife need to rhyme, but I think there's also some insinuation here that two people have become one person, and that could be implying that Romeo and Juliet got married. Yes, they are going to get married. A 13-year-old girl is going to marry a 17-year-old boy, and they will commit suicide. Whose misadventured pitches overthrows. So they're unfortunate, piteous, destruction. So it's bad. Okay. There's mention of suicide here. There's mention unfortunate, piteous, destructions, overthrows. It's bad news. It's tragedy. Do with their death bury their parents' strife. So we have their death again, the singular, because I think that's implying they're married, bury their parents' strife. So once they die, that's when their parents, they bury their strife, they make up. So it takes the death of these two teenagers for the families to stop fighting, which is so sad. The fearful passage or journey of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage. So as they're falling in love, the families are still continuing to fight. Which, but their children's end naught could remove. So again, the only thing that could stop this fighting is the death of Romeo and Juliet, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. So it's going to take about 2 hours to perform. In reality, on a stage, it takes longer than that. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. So even though you listen to this prologue, you might miss some information. The rest of the play is going to give you that information. All right. This gives us a little bit of info about what we're about to read. I'd like you to take a minute and watch the video because it's going to give you some more info, which I think will help with your understanding. All right, everybody, take care.